guy, again, I like the fact that he's coming out here and he's supporting Trump, but I'm still skeptical in regards to whether or not these people are actually going to go in the voting booth and pull the trigger, right? Because right now, Biden is extremely disliked, okay? People don't like Biden. So the cool thing now is to come out and say, well, I support Trump. But when you get into that voting booth, are you going to pull the trigger and vote for Trump? Again, I'm skeptical of that number, 22%. I'm not saying it's not possible, right? Again, if that poll said 22% of black men.
Man, he's not lying. Who knows, to be honest? Like, I do think time will tell. We'll find out. We'll definitely find out soon enough.
I would say, okay, that's believable. Because I do think that it is possible, probable really, that if things go well for Trump in 2024, he's going to get at least 1/5 of the black male vote, right? I think that the tides really turn. I think the black male vote really is leaving the Democrat Party. Now, again, a lot of these black males are not identifying as Republicans per se, but they are identifying as more conservative. Okay. They have no problem saying I'm conservative. I'm not a Republican, but I'm conservative. Right. And I think that's, the appeal of Trump, right? Because Trump is not a, stereotypical Republican, right? He's not a traditional Republican. And I think that is what attracts people to Trump, because he has a side of normalcy, right? He has a side of, well, I'm a human being, even though he's a billionaire. He's a flawed billionaire, right? He's clearly flawed. He's a human being. He makes mistakes. He's not holier than thou, right? And I actually think that is what attracts people to Trump more so than the traditional kind of.
Man, he's more honest, right? That's one of the biggest things I've noticed about Trump. Every time somebody asks me about Trump, I don't know too much about his policies, right? I know every time I see him, he's telling some truth, right? See, he making somebody have egg yolk on their face, right? Looking stupid as he's sitting there being extremely honest. And also, he's funny, right? That used to be the first thing I would say too is, I think Trump is hilarious. That dude is a comedian, bro. That dude is a comedian. One of the funniest people. Man, that dude be having me cracking up. And people think that what he say be serious too. I'm like, nah, he gotta be joking. You don't just say something that crazy. Right? You don't just say something like that and not be joking your ass off. Right? So yeah. But then of course, I don't know too much about like the outside of the obvious policies of what he believes in, stands for.
Pious Republican figure, right? So, I personally don't know if that number is true, right? But what I do know is that a lot of people are seeing the destruction that is being caused in this country by the Biden administration, okay, specifically in regards to the economy. And people are saying that I might not like Trump, but I know that the economy was better under Trump. I know that the border situation was better under Trump. And also on top of that, again, say what you want, but Trump at the very least tried to appeal to the black community, right? He tried to with the First Step Act, opportunity zones, HBCU funding. Again, people like Roland will say, oh, he really didn't do this and that, blah, blah. He won't give him credit for it, right? Again, never get credit for it. But, hey, he tried, right? And, I think a lot of people are looking back at the Trump presidency and saying, okay, look at what the Democrats are doing now. Democrats promise all this stuff.
There's a lot of things Trump said that he was on point with, bro. And people didn't take him seriously. They thought he was just joking. He was like, y'all talking about me. Y'all need to look over here. People are like, yeah, he's just trying to divert the attention. Years later, we find out, seeing some files and some stuff get released. So it was like, oh, Trump was actually not lying. Oh, okay. Wow.
And now they've essentially said,
that's what's making him have even more appeal.
Stuff, right? The George Floyd Policing Act
right over
ain't
the
passing.
top.
The Voter Rights Act ain't passing, which, by the way, none of these things actually help out black people, right? Helping black people vote for Democrats is not helping black people, okay? That ain't helping black people. The George Floyd Policing Act ain't helping black people, okay? Police are not the biggest issue with black folks, right? The biggest issue is the economy, right? When you talk about having a good economy, when you talk about having closed borders or more secure borders, that's actually what helps out black folks. Ask them in Chicago, right? The ones in Chicago that's currently dealing with, the illegal immigrants being placed in their neighborhoods by their black
they're not playing that.
Brandon Johnson. Ask them. Again, I don't know. If black people don't vote Trump.
Chicago had enough. Chicago had enough, bro. All right, let's be clear. If you haven't seen the updates, man, I think more people need to be on the same type of time. I wish the city would be on the same energy as Chicago. They had enough. I've been seeing a lot of stuff of them protesting, like not really protesting per se, but like going to like the council meetings and doing votes on some, nah. We not none of this woke stuff you trying to do now.
In 2024, it ain't never happening, right? There's no way any Republican is ever getting a black vote if they don't vote for Trump in 2024, right?
Yeah, they promoting Trump.
So again, I'm giving it another shot. I'm optimistic. I'm skeptical. Again, I'm even skeptical of this guy. I mean, again, he just came out of nowhere. Now he's like, oh, I support Trump, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But, he could have a legitimate awakening. Who knows? I don't know. It's possible. It happens all the time. But at the same time, again, I just feel like if black people don't vote for Trump in 2024, right, at very least 1/5, right, 1/5, there's no hope, right? There's zero hope. But the reality of today's modern day politics, like the political map, so to speak, is that Republicans really don't need the black vote. Okay. So all they really need is not necessarily for black people to show up and to vote for Trump or whoever Republican nominee is. What they really need is for black people to sit out. Black people to say, oh, you know what? I'm discontent with Biden. I don't really like Trump. I'm going to sit out, right? If black people sit out, then that means that's a lot of votes lost for Democrats because black people overwhelmingly vote for Democrats. So if they just don't turn out to vote, if they just don't vote, that is taking away a large part of the Democrat Party base. So again, the reality is that, even if, Trump or Republican doesn't get 1/5 or 1/4 of the black vote, what's more important is actually for black people who are discontent to just not vote Democrat, right? I mean, they don't have to vote Trump. Okay, they can vote third party, but they just don't need to vote Democrat. That's what you're really looking for.
For me, I'll stop for Trump.
I get what you're saying.
Mark, I'm fascinated by you. Why did you end up leaving Black Lives Matter? Or are you still affiliated with it?
No. I'm still affiliated with it. All day. Because the thing about it is my message that I preach and that I tout is unity. It's a message of unity. It's unity driven. I want to bring together all the marginalized groups from the margins and bring them to the center because we're stronger together as a one nation under indivisible under God.
Yeah. Mark Fisher, I think all Americans can go with a message of unity. We thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm all about, coming together, right, with reasonable people. But these people on the left, particularly in Black Lives Matter, are not reasonable. I'm not sure how his message is playing out in regards to supporting Trump.
That's funny as hell, but it's true.
Right.
Yeah, I could keep saying that. Time will tell. Time will tell, fam. I'm sure we'll know. Straight up. Because
those people that he's around are probably not reasonable, rational, or logical people. Okay. But hey, kudos to him for trying, right? Kudos for him for spreading the message and trying to get people to open their minds. I just don't think that is going to work, particularly with that group of people. But who knows? Again, we'll see if all of this alleged black support for Trump pans out in 2024. Wouldn't be surprised if they go into the voting booth and still vote Democrat, right? Because that's historically what happened. So I'm not getting my hopes up. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like.
Hey, check out his channel, man. The video will be linked in the description. I really do enjoy his work, man. But as far as Trump, I don't know if it's going to be enough to make me vote at all, to be honest, but that's something I'm going to have to ponder on and think about. But until then, I'm just going to keep giving you my real opinion, bro. That's all I could do. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Hit the like button as well. Share the video. And also, if you got extra time, check me out on Patreon where you get bonus access to a bunch of content on there. Also, check me out live streaming on Rumble or Twitch.